Tractor Talk with Gary. Today, we're going to discuss the top 3 reasons to own a Kubota L2501 tractor. There are 3, let's not do that. There are 3 reasons to own a Kubota L2501 tractor. What do you think those 3 reasons are? We're going to discuss that in this video. First of all, let me start off by saying that I'm not here to run any other brands down. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I am all about tractors. I'm all things tractors. I don't think there's any tractors out here that I don't like. I prefer some over the other, and I think it comes down to personal preference. What your needs are. When I got this tractor, this Kubota L2501, it is a gear drive. It has the R4 egg style tires on it instead of the R1s, which seem to be the most popular tires. They don't work in my application. This is a tractor that I got primarily to run off-road, working down in our woods and on steep terrain, dragging up tops of trees and stuff. That's why I wanted a tractor of small stature, small size. And it's a 25 horsepower tractor. Kubota makes 3 different horsepower offerings on this very same chassis. They make the 2501, they make the L3301, and they make the L3901. There's not a big jump from the L2501 to the L3301, only in price. So you're not going to get a lot more performance, and the weight is very close. They just simply swap out the engine, stick a different engine in. The advantage of the 25 horse versus the 33, other than the 33's got just a little bit more power, is that the 25 horsepower tractor has no emission stuff on it. Falls under the Tier 4 federal emissions requirements for the manufacturers. And believe me, that drives the price up on the ones that have the Tier 4 emissions requirements on them. It drives them up substantially. And to me, it wasn't worth it. And I wanted a tractor. I wanted it to be pretty plain and simple. And this is, if you watch my other videos, you know that we moved, the dealer anyway, I had them move the wheel settings from this point to this point. This inner part of the wheel was put to this outermost point here, which sets the wheel out further. Then we added the wheel spacers. And then we added fluid to the tires. The reason for all this is ballast. Any of these newer tractors, or for any loader tractor for that matter, they've got enough lift capacity with these hydraulic loaders that weight in the back end is an issue. It's a safety issue too. I also, when I got this, I got the Land Pride QH15 quick hitch. It goes on the 3-point. And I bought a used box scraper. That's a BB 1560. It's a Land Pride, not a Kubota. I got some Kubota stickers. I painted that up. It was pretty faded. And I painted it Kubota orange and put the Kubota stickers on it too, because I like it to say Kubota. But it's Land Pride, which pretty much now is Kubota, so it doesn't make much difference. But by adding the wheel spacers, moving the wheels out further and adding fluid to them, it really helps the performance of this tractor. This has got to go in some places where you want to be as safe as you can with the stability. Stability is a huge issue. That should be on any tractor. I also opted for the gear drive, and instead of the hydrostatic, for a couple reasons. Number one, I didn't like the looks of the hydrostatic pedals, pedal. It's a treadle pedal, a single pedal over here against the brakes on the L2501. And if you notice, on these tractors, you have the hump in the middle. Like right now, because of all the snow and stuff, I'm wearing boots. And that takes up extra room, and there's not a lot of room for your feet. And with the treadle pedal in there too, it would be just way too busy for my taste. Besides that, it's I believe, a $1,500 option. I bought mine December 17th of 2017, and I'm pretty sure it was a $1,500 option then, and the R4s were a $1,000 option. I think I've got that straight. Don't take that to the bank by any means, but the L2501s, other than the 3301 and the 3901, are made in Japan. If I can get my camera in there. They are made in Japan, assembled in the United States, but made in Japan. So it's a Japanese tractor. There's a little controversy about that, but I think we've got that pretty well cleared up. Added some options to it, which I think makes it great. I had a request the other night about the toolbox that I put on. This is a Stanley toolbox. It's plastic, it's cheap, but it holds a lot of tools. And it's much better than the original. Added the work light onto the back and the strobes. Let's turn the strobes on. I don't drive this much on the road anymore. And I'll drive it at night, but still, those strobes really help it to be seen. Those are LEDs, and they show up a long ways away. I got them off of Amazon. I couldn't even tell you what brand they are. They're kind of a cheap brand, but they perform well. I've been happy with them. So, added the golf cart mirrors on each side. I added a toolbox here for a log chain. It's really handy to have a log chain with you when you're working in the woods. I've also got a 1/2-inch log chain. It's an old one. This is too hard to drag around, so I just use it wrapped around the bracework of the box blade, and that's just extra ballast. That's all it is. So between this weighing 175 pounds, the box blade hooked on behind that, and that chain wrapped in there, fluid in the tires, there's a lot of weight hanging back here. That makes it, as a loader tractor, makes it operate really well. So hope I answered that about the toolbox. I also, not only is it handy to have a log chain with you when you're working in the woods, it's handy to have your chainsaw. And I made the mount for this and the scabbard. Made it out of stuff we had laying around. Golf cart mirror on this side as well. And I opted for the skid steer quick attach when I got it. That was a good choice. Both sides. They make a really good heavy one. And I got the Ken's bolt-on hooks, which I really like. You can buy cheaper ones. You can't buy better ones. And if you haven't seen my other videos, you need to check it out about this grill guard. This was a friend of mine on has his own other YouTube channel, Pheasant Lane Farm. Robert from Pheasant Lane Farm has a friend that owns a fabricating business. And he makes these, he made one for Robert, then he started making these grill guards. Especially if you're going to put a grapple attachment on your tractor, that is a must. That's an insurance policy. That is money well spent. There is some expensive stuff up front here. This grill work, your hood, the batteries in there, your radiators right up front. You can do a lot of damage in a hurry and make that grill guard look rather cheap. Make a good investment. I opted for the bucket level indicator. I absolutely love that. That is so handy to have. And we went with a larger bucket. It comes with a 60-inch bucket, standard. And we went for the 72-inch bucket because of widening out the rear stance. The rear wheels would be outside of the bucket. And for plowing snow, I wouldn't like that. Wouldn't do a good job. It handles it just fine. No problems at all. So anyway, for those of you looking for a tractor of 25 horse, if you think that may not be enough, I know people get hung up on horsepower. You can spend a lot of money in a hurry that you really don't need to spend if 25 horsepower will serve your needs. I was a little leery when I got it, thinking it may not be enough. And it's fine. It does fine. I don't pull heavy loads with it. I run a 60-inch brush cutter with it. It handles that fine. And when originally I thought I was going to get an L2501. And my dealer told me that the L2501 will not run a 7-foot brush cutter. You've got to step up to the 3901, and that was well over $6,000 more money. Like, you know, I think we'll stay with this. So the more I've come back to this L2501, the more I like it. And there are some channels out here, other channels that have the L2501. Hillside Acres, Richie and Chrissy, they've got one, and you should see what they do with theirs. If there's any doubt whether an L2501 Kubota will perform for you, go to that channel. It's called Hillside Acres. It's Richie and Chrissy. They're out east, and boy, they get the best out of their L2501. Richie's a good operator. He knows how to run it. So I've been around tractors my whole life. I'm 65. I'll be 66 in June this summer. And I've been operating tractors my whole life, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm the world's most foremost expert on tractors, because that's not the case. But the hump in the middle and the gear drive did not bother me. I kind of joked with my dealer, and I said, you know, I've been jamming gears for years. I guess I can jam them some more, grind them and jam them. So, and yeah, get along just fine with it. So anyway, added the steering wheel spinner. I think I'd be lost without that thing. That was the first option I put on. Then I went with the mirrors. Then I went with the light bar up on top. Oh boy, that lights things up like a football field. And then we put the strobes on the back. And a friend of mine from Mississippi, also a Marine, got me the United States Marine license plate. And since we have to have tags front and rear on our vehicles in Iowa, I didn't know where I was going to put it. And I thought, there's a space up there where it fits perfectly, just like it was made for there. So it went up there. Then I added the Ken's bolt-on hooks on the front, then the grill guard, and then the chainsaw mount. And that's pretty much where we stay. These tractors on the open station, of course, they make noise. Any tractor will. They run fairly quiet, but still, you're around the noise. I have a pair of 3M work tunes that I wear. And okay, that pretty much explains everything about the tractor. Now let's get into the 3 main reasons to buy a Kubota L2501 and why it should be your #1 choice. And then you can do your own shopping around, do your own research, go to dealers and spend time with the salespeople, spend time walking around looking at the tractor, sitting in the seat. Do more than just read the specs on them. The specs aren't always, let's put it this way, they don't tell you what you need to know about the tractor. So get familiar. Dealer is important. My dealer in Waukon, Iowa, Gary's Tractors and Implements, were super to deal with. The former owner, Gary, has since retired. His brother, Jeff, and his wife and son are running the business now. So, and still same thing. Family-owned business. The only warranty work that I had to have was the right front tire. For some reason, these are Goodyear tires on this, so they're not cheap knockoff off-brand tires. But the original tire leaked right down the seam and it wouldn't hold air. So I took it back and we got another brand new tire put on it, just like came off, only didn't leak. So anyway, very easy to do maintenance on. Everything in the engine compartment is laid out very well. And so now, like I promised, let's get into the 3 main reasons to own a Kubota L2501 tractor.